Hi Bindu.
Hi, Amish.
Yeah, can we start with the technical round? Are you
Yeah,
ready?
sure. Yes.
Okay. So tell me something about your project currently, means like in your current organization.
Yeah, I'm working on the finance project. It's a finance operation teams. In that, I work on a module called accounts payable. It is related to the vendor transactions. And also in this, we always do the regression activities where we find the bugs, and we always work. Our main intention is to work on the reliability, so that we provide minimum 90 plus of the 90% reliability, above 90%. And also worked on the re-automation work for other team as a support. So there also we gained knowledge on the automation, where we converted the webbed input scripts into the auto start scripts, which is the tool that is used for automation. So this is about our project.
Okay. And what are your roles and responsibilities here?
So here my role and responsibility is that to find when we are doing, like, when some new functionalities being in regression, like some new functionalities being or some new changes have been implemented, there will be some changes happen to other modules as well. So here my responsibility is that to find that issues, report it, and then retest it and fix the issues, and then maintaining the reliability. That is one of the main aim that we should follow.
Okay. And like, uh, are you using any tool for this?
uh, we are, yes, for step tool we are using step tool.
Step tool means for which purpose?
This is like we have the like the complete test plan will be kept for the triggering and the step tool. So
Mhm.
once the triggering is complete, if the scripts which are failed in that step tool as well, we start analyzing of that scripts here.
Okay, great. So as you mentioned, like your current project is in financial domain, right?
Yeah.
So what are the different types of, it's like what are different types of testing you are using mostly in your project?
Yeah. First thing is that on a daily basis we are doing the regression testing.
Mhm.
Then we for us like for each and every month we'll have one phase called the tuck or the SAT, where we do manual testing. During this manual testing we can do exploratory testing. We can find the usability issues or the UI issues, and we can do like random testing can be done. So the main aim is to that we should find the bugs in that application, so that
Okay, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah, please go on.
Yeah, so the, like we perform like exploratory testing, usability issues, UI issues will be done, like random testing will be done. Then also, then some, if some bugs are erased, then if it is fixed, then we'll do retesting whether that bug is fixed or not. So these are all the testings that we
Okay, and is that software is live?
do. I did not get your question.
Means you are working on financial domain, right? So
Yeah.
the software or website on which you are working, is that live?
Mhm.
Means is it available for customer?
Yeah, it is available for the customer, but as per my knowledge, it's being used in other countries.
Okay, 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 fine. So what are different non-functional testing you are doing there?
Non-functional testing, like when like I, as per in my 1 year of experience, we have like some phase called SAT, where we check the customer incidents. During that phase, like which have like some customer has raised some security testing issues, where we have checked that. That is one where I participated.
Mhm.
And that's it in the non-functional testing says. Somewhere when we are using some systems, like for executions and all, we have different systems. So
Mhm.
during that time, if that system is not, the performance of the system is not good, then we raise like the incidents, like saying as a performance issue.
Okay, mainly means you are doing their performance testing and security testing.
No, that is not on the regular basis. It is security testing that I have done is some incident was raised by the customer. So we were
Okay.
checking that. In that, security testing was involved. And this performance issue is like when it will be sometimes that some systems will go down where the performance will not be good.
Mhm.
During that time, it affects our testing as well, executions as well. So during that time, we raise that it is a performance issue.
Okay. And what about load testing? Uh, have you came across?
No, I have not come across load testing.
Okay, no worries. We'll move to the next question.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the software testing life cycle?
Yeah, it is a software testing life cycle. It is from the requirement collection to the delivery of quality product to the customer. First, in this, we do the requirement analysis and then creation of the SRS document also. After that, we identify the scenarios. Once the scenarios are being identified, then we write the test cases. Once this identification of scenario is done, it should undergo a review process as well. Then after that, if any updates is required, then we do that updates and then write the test cases. And these test cases should also undergo a review process. Once this review process is done, then when we get a bill, we pick up the test cases as per that bill scope. So then we execute it against that bill. So if we find any defect, we will raise it against the developer. So once the defect is get fixed, then we'll do a retest. Once the software is defect free, we can never say that software is 100% defect free. But when it most of the critical defects are not present in the software, then we release it to the customer. This is all about the software test life cycle.
Okay, and you are following whole life cycle in your current organization, right?
Yeah, the process is.
And what do you think? Is it beneficial to follow this whole process, or
Uh,
like
yeah.
any change will be needed in that life cycle? What do you think? Means, what is your opinion on that?
As per my knowledge, it is going good with the cycle. So I think if any improvements needed, we can make changes.
Do you think any improvement is needed in that?
No,
No, as of now, no. Okay.
as of now, no.
Okay, great. So, how do you differentiate bug and defect?
So bug is something where the tester will find in the testing environment, whereas defect is something where the which is end user, where we call it as a defect. The bug which is identify the end user is defect.
Okay, okay, fine. And let's say uh, you are like doing testing of one of the website, and there you find some mm, spelling mistake. Then under which category will keep that? Is it like bug,
Mm.
defect, or something else?
I will need to say as per the priority, or it's that is a low priority defect.
Low. And what about severity?
The severity is also low because it is not breaking anything. So the severity, it is a low severity and low priority defect.
And how? What do you think? How like priority and severity is important while doing any testing?
Yeah. Priority is something like the defect which is immediately should be fixed because it acts as a blocker that it is not allowing us to continue with our further process. So this is immediately fixing the defect is priority. So severity is something where the functionality is affecting and it is impacting on the business as well, so that the customer is not able to continue with the business. So this is severity.
And is there any criteria for priority? Means like different criteria or scenarios?
Yeah, for a priority we have very high priority, we high priority, medium, low, very low. When it comes to severity, we have blocker, critical, showstopper. So
Yeah, got it. But tell me the scenarios where we you can say this is a higher priority, this is a lower priority, like that. I'm saying.
okay, fine. Whenever we are logging into some, for example, consider Amazon application.
Mhm.
I'm a new user. I'm trying to log in into sign up and log in into an application. I've given the username and the password, but it is not allowing me to log in. This is something like we say high priority and high severity defect, because if I'm not able to log in itself, then I cannot explore the app, or I cannot book something where this is an e-commerce application. So I cannot do any bookings, orders, or anything. So
Okay. And have you logged any defect or bug or error which is having high priority and high severity till the time?
as per our company standards, that as they use the tool, we don't have like both the scenarios. It is very like media. We have only an option called like high, medium, and low option. So whichever the defect is affecting much for our executions, or it is very frequently used by the customer as well, then we give it as a very high priority. Yeah, I have raised that bugs as well.
Okay, great. So, how do you differentiate black box and white box?
Okay. Why in white box testing, like we'll have an internal working of the application, like internal code will be known to us. Whereas in the black box testing, we'll not have the internal knowledge of an internal working of an application. So here black box testing, we call it as clear box testing also. Whereas white box testing, white box testing, we call it as clear box testing also. Whereas black box testing, we call closed box testing also. And in white box testing, like here the developer will check each and every line of the code will be checked in the white box testing. And in black box testing, we check the functionality and behavior of the application. This is the difference.
And among these both, which one you are following mostly?
Here in the black box testing.
Okay, any specific reason?
Because as a tester, we don't look into the internal code. So we always look at the functionality. So we follow
Okay, okay,
black box testing.
okay, great. And what about gray box? Have you came across this gray box?
No, I have never come across this gray box testing.
Okay, no worries. And tell me the difference between positive and negative testing, and also tell
Paul,
me, yeah, and also tell me which one is beneficial.
okay. So positive testing is something like we are testing some application with the valid, positive inputs, whereas negative is something where we test the application with the negative inputs. In some scenarios, it is very good practice that we follow both positive and negative testing in some cases. But in some cases, first, whenever we started testing, we should start up with a positive testing. So always, like we say, positive testing will give higher preference. If it is working fine for the positive testing, then we test for the invalid inputs as well.
Okay, you mean to say positive testing is important than negative?
It's not like that, but first, always when we start testing, we always test for the positive, like a valid inputs first.
And also, while doing testing, can we skip anyone among these?
I did not get the question, sir.
Means while doing any testing, can we see, means can we skip in any one of these, like positive or negative, or
No, it is not like that. We follow both this positive and negative testing. Always for any testing, we do follow both the positive and negative testing.
okay, okay, fine. So tell me, uh, what is sanity testing?
Sanity testing, as I never followed sanity testing in our company, both smoke and sanity is same,
Mm-hmm.
where we test the basic and critical features of an application. So this is all about the sanity testing. So here, this sanity testing, we always do when initially we get some bill. First, we do this testing so that we identify the bugs at the initial stage itself, so that the developer will also get the time, sufficient time to fix the defects. And yeah.
Okay, great. So what are different things will come under regression testing?
Yeah, we have like unit regression testing, regional regression testing, or as we also call it as risk-based testing, or full regression testing. Whereas unit regression testing is something where we test only the changes that has happened, only that things we will test. When it comes to the regional regression testing, we check the changes that has been happened as well as the impacted areas will be tested here. When
Okay,
it comes to the full regression, we check the all complete process and as well as the changes. This is full regression. Mostly we always follow the full regression testing.
okay, great. My next question will be on test cases.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you think? How test cases will help during the testing?
Yeah, it acts as a baseline for testing. If any newcomer or any person, so that if we have written some test cases, it helps us to like test any application or to get knowledge on the functionality. It helps us. And also so when the test cases are written, it will help us to gain the better test coverage as well. And we can use the test cases we can reuse the test cases. So this is how it helps.
Okay, great. Suppose if I have provided you like headphone and
Mm,
told you like write the test cases for this.
okay.
So what are the different test cases for the for that?
Okay. First, we verify the like various headphones available, to like various we can say brands available. Then we'll check the color, or we verify the color of that, and we verify the cost of that. And also we can do like connecting. We have like wireless and wire and wireless also. So if we prefer wireless, so we will check whether we are able to, we will verify whether we are able to connect to the mobile, whether we are verify that whether we are able to connect to the laptop. These are the various scenarios that we can follow.
Okay, and if we compare test cases with test scenarios, what do you think? Which one is important?
Test scenarios is important. Both plays a very important role. But before writing a test cases, we should know what we are going to do in this application. So by writing the scenarios only, then we'll write the test cases. Like in the test cases, we'll get to know like what and how to test an application.
Okay, for any login page, what will be the test scenarios?
So first, we have to verify whether we are able to launch the URL or not. Then we should enter we have to verify by giving the username and the password. So we have various scenarios for that. We should give like first give valid username and invalid password, and try checking that whether we are able to log in or not. And try that giving invalid username and a invalid password, and check that whether we are able to log in. Check that whenever check the once you give valid username and password, check that your home page is displayed for which are the application that you are logging in. And check that in the home page like the correct language is being displayed, and the logo of the application, like consider if you are logging into Amazon application, the logo should be displayed. So
Okay,
these are the various scenarios that we can test.
okay, great. So the Bindu, one last
Mm.
question from my side. Are you following agile methodology in your current organization?
Yes, we are following agile
Yeah,
methodology.
can you tell me few things or few points about
Mhm.
agile methodology? It's like what are different things you are following there?
So yeah, like we always start up in a week. We always start with the sprint planning meeting first. In the sprint planning, first starts with a scrum meeting, where in the scrum meeting we discuss like what we have done yesterday, what we are going to do today, any issues or concerns. This will be discussed in the scrum meeting. And then the sprint planning meeting. Sprint planning meeting will always be done at every start of the sprint, every first sprint we are going to do. In the sprint meeting, we'll discuss about that. We'll groom up the backlogs that are present, and in this sprint planning meeting, the scrum master, all the team members, like the product owner, everyone will be involved in that meeting, and they discuss about the requirements. And in this phase, we should understand about the requirements as well, and if you have any doubts, it should be communicated there and then itself, and we should update it accordingly. This takes place in the sprint planning meeting. So once the sprint planning meeting is done, there will be like what we see, like product backlog review also will be there, where we'll groom up the backlogs. What are the backlogs that we have to complete in the current sprint, and what we can take up for the upcoming sprint. We can say like spillover, like in the previous sprint there will be a spillover as well, so that we should consider up it in the present sprint also. These things will be discussed in the product backlog. And once after all this, once after the release, there will be also a retrospect meeting, where we'll discuss that what are the best practices that we have been followed, and any improvements that we can take up, or any issues that we have faced, how to overcome that. These things will be, this is how we follow Agile.
Okay, great. And do you have story pointing there? Means
Yeah, story points, they'll add like story points are nothing like the requirements will be given in the form of story points for us.
okay, great. So Bindu, I'm done from my side.
Yeah.
Deep, over to you.
Right. So with this, we come to the end of today's interview. Do you have any question to any one of us?
Not from my side.
Okay. Thank you. We'll meet with the feedback session very soon. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, both of you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
cheers.
this. Bye bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Yeah, thank you, Bindu. Bye.